hello ever. We are once again playing Insaniquarium Deluxe. Now, I know exactly what you're thinking right now. Matthew Parrish, you've already played this game. You've completed everything. The adventure, the challenge. You even showed us the sandbox. There's nothing left. You're just repeating content. Well, simmer down, because we're going to do a challenge. No, not this challenge. At least, not yet. We're going to try... But why am I saying we? You're not helping. I'm just kidding. You are helping. You're watching. And I appreciate all of you. Anyway, we're going to try to beat Insaniquarium with no pets. Now, I don't remember what I did that was probably making a short. I already played 1-1, but that's like the tutorial level, that doesn't really count. So we'll just start from here. So, all these pets, and we're not going to use any of them. Stinky, he's stinky. Nico, he's a cheapskate. Rhubarb, he just sucks. I mean, who needs these guys anyway? So, we're just gonna play. Are you sure you want to continue to the next level without selecting at least 3 pets? Don't ever question me again. I brought you into this world, I can take you out. Yes, I'm sure. Okay, so now we can finally get this show on the road. Now, my prediction for how this is going to go, I have a feeling the majority of the adventure, or campaign, whatever you want to call it, the main game mode, is going to be a walk in the park. Challenge mode is going to be a different story. So, we'll just make the best of it. At the very least, the frame rate will be better, because there'll be less moving sprites. No, not the soda. A sprite refers to a moving object, whether it be a character, or something in the background. Or in this case, a freaking alien. So, how are all of you guys doing today? Is everybody having a good day? Did you finally get that promotion at work? Did you finally ask your crush out? Did she say yes? Did you get those digits? So, no matter what the circumstance, I really hope everybody is happy and healthy. And I appreciate your support on the videos. I'm glad that you guys like it. Well, it's probably that one guy that's like, this video sucks. But hey, that's fair. You know, my little brother, Keith, he's got a pet turtle. And these brown pellets, they look almost exactly like the pellets that we give to Yertle. They're a little smaller, but they're still like round, kind of disc shaped. Wait, do I have to buy this to? Oh yeah. I thought if he grew to full size, it would open up. This is my favorite part of the game. It's so cool. Oh my god, a freaking alien! Kill it! Kill it! Like everything's so peaceful, and then an alien from another dimension just comes and disturbs the peace. Alright, one more piece of an egg to go. Yes. 500 cold hard cash dollars to buy a piece of an egg. This inflation really has gotten out of hand. Now let me tell you about some bull that happened today. So, I live in Illinois. Illinois is what I call a pancake state, because it flip-flops in terms of temperature. Some days it can be 80 degrees, some days it can be 30 degrees. I know there's other states out there, but Illinois is the most infamous one when it comes to this kind of flip-floppity temperature crap. We call it like false spring and stuff like that. Now I've been living in Illinois for pretty much my whole life. I'm used to it by now. Like when late March, early April rolls around and it starts getting warmer, I already know not to expect much because it's just going to go right back to winter and it's just going to start snowing. But this time was different. It was a special kind of messed up. We had a solid month in mid-April, like just over 3 weeks of like 80s nice summer temperature, which is what I like. Call me crazy, but I like it scorching, like 85 minimum. And I know that Illinois is bipolar in temperature, so I don't let my guard down until like over halfway through April. And it was getting to be around that time, and I slept with both eyes closed. And I put some shorts on. The next day, after this 3-week streak, it snows. I've just about had it with this floor. I understand sometimes we get cold spells out of nowhere. And sometimes things get wacky, especially with climate change. But this was just downright disrespectful. Okay, that's enough ranting about that. I could go on, but you get the idea. Okay, so back to the task at hand. So the main thing is it's going to take longer to get momentum, because without pets like Shrapnel, Nico, or even Bird, all we have are the fish to give us money, and we really don't have any kind of helping hands to, help out. Well, that was redundant. So yeah, we're kind of on our own here. We gotta be a lot more careful with the aliens too, because we have no support. This is kind of like the No Sunflower Challenge from Plants vs. Zombies. It was one of those self-imposed challenge videos. Those are my favorite. I like them more than the mods because most mods tend to just get way out of hand with the difficulty. I like the ones where it's like a self-imposed, like no using certain items or not doing certain things. Just makes the game more interesting without having it completely having you bent over. Now that being said, I'm sure later down the line I will regret my life decisions when I'm on Tank 4 of Challenge mode and there's 3 Psycho Squids and I got no pets, and then I just start wondering, where it went wrong. I'm sure that moment is coming, but for now I'm just gonna hope for the best. Very, very peaceful Zen soundtrack. Yeah, PopCap really nails it in the music department. Almost all their games. Oh, I did not mean to do that. I misclicked. Shoot. Speaking of shoot, we should be coming. Oh god. The Zen's gone. It's a frickin' alien. Good feeling's gone. Now, if you look closely, this game does have blood in it. It's pixelated. It kind of looks like if you took a goldfish cracker, like one of those rainbow goldfish, and you stomped on it. Like, you know when you go to an elementary or a middle school, and everyone just litters? I don't know what it is with juveniles and littering, but the world is like their personal trash can. And there's just food wrappers and stuff everywhere. And you see like crunched up Cheetos and stuff on the floor. That's what the blood looks like. So next time that this carnivore gets hungry, watch closely when he eats a fish. Here, just give him just a second. Okay, watch closely. See, look, there's like a little blood splash. I like the subtlety that they slipped in there. Bonus round. Collect as many shells as you can. I'll try. So you want to go for anything you want until the first bag is about to hit the sand. And then just go for bags, because it's a combo. The points stack up. And then it goes towards your virtual tank. Do. Actually, no, I'm not sure. Psych, I'm sure. I told you never to question me again. People. And then you're right back to square one. 2 fish and some pellets. You know, I remember... Now, I might get this wrong, but this game came out... it's gotta be either 2001 or 2002. And I was born in 2001, so I was like 3 years old when I first started playing this game. My grandma showed it to me. And it was sold at Best Buy. I don't know if they still sell games at Best Buy. But there was a whole shelf filled with PopCap games, and there were a ton of copies of Insaniquarium. Like, it was a whole shelf full. Yeah, back when this was new, people were snatching it up, I guess. I don't know if it was just that store, or if it was being sold everywhere. Because in 2002 or whatever, I don't think buying games online was really that wasn't really a thing yet, I don't think. Oh my god, it's an alien. I just realized I had the sound of the game way up the whole time. I really hope I could be heard clearly. I really hope. So just to recap, we're doing a challenge video of Insaniquarium where we're not using any pets. So what are your, speaking of pets, what is your, in the game, what is your favorite pet? So, if we're talking purely aesthetically, my favorite would have to be... Let me gotta think. My favorite would have to probably be Prego, because she just gets pregnant out of nowhere, and she's got that cute little scarf. Now, if we're talking functionality-wise, obviously one of the best pets is Presto, because you can change them into other pets. So different situations, you can change them around. Oop, he's green. Remember, if they're green, they're hungry. So if you're hungry, your whole body turns green. And we got an alien. Remember, it's different. And if it's different, it's bad, and you should kill it. We're gonna judge a book by its cover. Go home, E.T. See, I really hope you were able to hear me the first half of this video. Or, I don't know how long I'm going to be recording. Really gotta... Because I was playing in my spare... I don't just play when I'm recording. I like to play in my spare time. Like when I'm waiting for dinner to cook, or if I'm bored, or just any time. Whenever I'm not doing something else, I like to play games on my computer. So sometimes I forget I have the sound effects on before I start recording. That is my bad. I apologize. You know what? Let's get another carnivore in here. Alright, the money is rolling in. It's like the Wolf of Wall Street, but with fish. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That scene was funny. Alright, he's back. Even though I told him explicitly not to come back. Some people just never learn. Our first death of the new game. Well, it's not like I'll miss him. He was just another mouth to feed. Fish don't live that long anyway. My record for keeping a fish alive is 2 years. Now, it wasn't a goldfish, it was called a blackmore. And apparently that species of fish is blind, or they're very poor-sighted. I'm not sure which it is, but it's like a small black goldfish, but they're shaped like a lumpy sphere. Like if you took a golf ball and spray painted it black, or just got a black golf ball, and then you like put some marshmallows on it to make bumps, you'd have a blackmore. And you'll never guess what I named him. I named him Blackie. Yeah, real great name there. So, way back when I was 3 years old, I think it was technically my dad's hamster, but we had a hamster, and we would put it in a ball so it could like roll around. And one day, I took it outside, and it ran away. It just rolled into the shadow realm. We couldn't find it. And I really felt bad. Hopefully he found a new home where they didn't just let him roll away. And then, years later, we went to the carnival. Now, there's videos that explain how those games work, but most of those games, it's like going to the casino. They're favored towards the house. They're rigged. They're course. They're leveled. They're not fair. They're not fair. The most notorious one is, I don't know what it's called, but it's a kind of ball toss. And you take, it's about the size of a wiffle ball, but sometimes it could be like a baseball. And you underhand toss it into a bucket, and the bucket itself is slanted and attached to the wall. And if it stays in the bucket, you get the prize or whatever. And the guy would demonstrate, he would, do it. It's like, oh, come on, it's easy. Never won a prize. That ball would always bounce back out. I'm not going to go through every single game, but this one, the one I just mentioned, the trick is, when the guy demonstrates it, they're using heavier balls, so it doesn't bounce as much when it hits the bucket. So yours will just go flying. Anyway, I was playing the game where it's the ping pong ball, and you have to get it inside the fishbowl. And I was about 9 years old, so I just blew at it. I sucked. And I guess the guy took pity on me. He's like, hey, you want a fish? And he gave me a goldfish. Now, guess what I named this goldfish? You'll never guess. Go ahead. Are you ready? I named it Goldie. Yep, I swear, if I ever get another fish, I'm just gonna name it Fish. I'm not even gonna try. So Goldie stayed alive for 1 year, which for a goldfish, that's... I mean, I'm surprised he lived that long. And then shortly after, we got Blackie. And then eventually, we upgraded from a bowl to a full-blown fish tank, so they could have more space. And we also, I forget what we named him, but we got an algae eater. Because like, oh, maybe he'll help with keep the tank clean. Well, he lasted for 3 months, and then he died. RIP, Algae Eater, the Algae Eater. We didn't even name him. I think we did name him. I just can't remember what we named him. And then after that, when I turned 10, or maybe it was 11, I got 2 hermit crabs. Now this time, I was a little more original. I went with Herman and Snappy. So I guess it's better than Goldie. And they lived... One of them lived for 1 year, and the other one went another 3 months. So once again, not really bringing home the big bucks. But you know, they were fun. They were fun to... Sometimes we would take them out of the tank, and I had these Duplo blocks, and I would make mazes, and I would watch them crawl around for a bit. One of them tried to escape. They were climbing stuff in the tank and making their way towards the top, and we had to put a stop to that. Like, no, no, no. You get back in your home. And then we got Cruiser, a cat. Now, we got Cruiser, I gotta think here. We got Cruiser about 2011. Now, the thing about Cruiser, he was a late bloomer. So he was almost a year old when we adopted him, but he was still pretty much the size of a kitten. He didn't start growing until later. So my whole life, I loved cats. Now, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Just because I love cats, that doesn't mean I hate dogs. I love both. I grew up with dogs. Most notably, my grandparents had 2 wiener dogs. Anyway, you know, every time I'd see a cat in a window, I'd stare at it. We saw a cat on the street, I'd try to pet it. Most of the time, it would run away, and I would cry. And one day, we were at, like, my mom's friend's house, and they had a couple generations of cats. They started with about 3 cats, and then one of them got pregnant. And you think they'd be smart and just practice, you know, safe fun, but no, they're just gonna be dumb about it. So they had kids, and then those kids had more kids. So Cruiser is actually a grandchild. Now, we didn't consult anybody, and I wasn't even planning to take one home. Now, not to put my mom out there like that, she's the kind of person that just doesn't really think things through, just kind of goes head first into things. So, you know, we're just there at a friend's house admiring the kittens. I'm like, oh, it's cute. And I think, I don't even remember his name. I think his name was also Matt, ironically. He's like, oh, hey, you want a kitten? And Mom's like, yeah. And my mom's like, hey, Matt, we're getting a kitten. And obviously I was happy, but it was so unexpected. I'm like, oh, okay. So, you know, we get the litter box, the food, everything you need for a cat. And we come home, and the first thing my mom does, she scoops up this kitten, brings it upstairs, and, like, brings it in the bathroom, like, hey, Dad, look, a kitten. So, yeah, that's how he found out. That was his first interaction with Cruiser. So I can't imagine how that went. But, you know, we decided to keep him. And he did eventually grow, not much though, because he's a tabby of the gray variety. They don't really get very big. But he was a sweetheart. He loved people. I think he only hissed one time, and that was because another cat came in our yard. He was like, "No, my yard. You're gonna steal my humans." But yeah, he was a teddy bear. He purred a lot. And he was always ready for breakfast. You know, he would meow at 6 in the morning, which is very generous because some cats wake up like 3 in the morning. But anyway, I think I accidentally trained him because he figured out that I would only wake up when the alarm on my phone went off, because I set an alarm on my bleh, getting all tongue-tied. I would set an alarm on my phone to wake up in the morning. So as soon as that alarm went off, well, actually, he would come in my room about 30 minutes before the alarm went off, and he would just, sit down and chill out. As soon as that alarm went off, in my lap, in my face, hey, where's my food? One of my, two of my favorite moments with Cruiser was one time I was taking a bath. Because sometimes I don't take baths often, because I don't really like that stewing feeling. I prefer to just take a shower. But sometimes I like to emulate a hot tub. So I took a bath. I was just chilling in the bath. And Cruiser walks in, because I had the door open. And he starts getting curious. I see that little twinkle in his eyes. And he kind of starts sniffing the water, like acting like he's going to get in. I'm like, Cruiser, I'm just going to tell you right now, you're not going to like it. He jumps in the water, and there's like 2 seconds of quiet, of like the calm before the storm. And 2 seconds later, he starts spazzing out, like, nope, get me out of here. And he jumps out. The second story is, it was breakfast time, and I was feeding him. The light bulb in our basement had burned out, so I was kind of just fumbling around in the dark. I had his wet food. I had his wet food in my hand. Well, in the can, obviously. It wasn't just in my hand. And he was following me. And, I scoop out his wet food with a spoon. And I accidentally put it in his water bowl. And he just kind of looks at it for a second. And then I swear to God, he gave me this look like, the F's wrong with you? It was just the funniest thing ever. I swear he's part human sometimes. Now, many years later, we moved to a new apartment that didn't allow pets. So, unfortunately, we had to give him away to a family friend. But I check in with him often, and he's happy and healthy. Well, I think we're gonna end things there. So, as always, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And I don't really have a moral, just have a great day.